All right. So the issue of you're in Africa and you are fighting racism elsewhere or in the US. Okay. I think this thing is sickening. This thing make me sick. This rant out of ignorance is so nauseating. When I see it and I hear it, I want to vomit. Some people need to speak for themselves. Some Africans, some Ghanaians need to speak for themselves. If you've never spoken against injustice in Ghana before, keep your mouth shut. If you have never spoken against injustice, tribal discrimination, tribalism in general in Ghana, keep your mouth shut. Those of you who are NDC because you are a Votarian, those of you who are an MPP because you are an Ashanti, those of you who are NDC because you are Northerner, those people, you are those people who may not have the right to demonstrate, to talk about racism elsewhere outside of Ghana. But some of us who know what we have done, who know what we've been doing, the advocacy we've been involved in, we've been doing for a continental black people, allow us to say Black Lives Matter. Those of you who don't know the link between you, a Ghanaian, an African on the continent, and the Africans outside the continent, keep your mouth shut. Just like that police officer or police commander in the US who told the US president that if the president of the United States does not have anything sensible, anything to help bring peace in the US, he should keep his mouth shut. I'm saying the same thing to those of you who are going about ranting. And you see, social media has made having your views out there so cheap that some people who don't know how to even put words together will copy things and post and share that you are in Africa and you are fighting racism. You are in Ghana, you are fighting racism. I want people to understand that a lot of you are saying these things without understanding what it is. A lot of you are saying, using this mantra without understanding what it means. And today, this is just an intro that I want some of you to check yourself. If you have never stood up against tribal discrimination, if you've never spoken against tribal politics, if you've never spoken against police injustice, police brutality in Ghana, keep your mouth shut. Yes, the rate at which all of us need to talk about police brutality in Ghana, injustice in Ghana, tribal discrimination in Ghana and in Africa is not where it's supposed to be. But who is to blame? We need to blame ourselves because we've allowed ourselves to live in the timid and conformist training that our parents give to us. The reason why you don't see many Ghanaians going on the street to demonstrate when there's issue of injustice is that we are trained to be timid and conformist. We are trained not to speak up. Let me give you an example. In 2014, after my national service at the Ministry of Energy, we were left with 2 months arrears or allowance that we were supposed to pay as national service personnel. The day we were told that the money has come, we need to go and then sign. The National Service Secretariat has a bigger space around it, the Ministry of Communication building in is it Asylum Down? Yeah, Asylum Down there about around the Chigo office, head office. This institution did not ask us to go to that place where it is spacious so that we can go and sign for our money, which is due us legally. They intentionally boxed us at their office, at the to-do office. And when I got there, I was not worried about myself because I didn't have a baby at my back. I was not pregnant. But I was worried about pregnant women, young women who have served this nation after their university or tertiary education. And people were just queuing them in a queue. If you've been to the National Service Office at Tudu, you understand what I'm talking about. That day, I was ready to just be arrested because I wanted to demonstrate. I shouted Choboy, and huge giant men were standing there as if they did not hear me. It took some few women to respond Choboy. I wanted people to hold hands with me so that we block the National Service guys, the officers at the National Service Office, so that when they want to, some of them went out to buy food. So I wanted people to hold hands with me so that we block them. I was not getting it, so I had to hold the two sides of the gates over there. When one guy at the office has gone to buy food and was coming back inside, I said I will not allow him to go because I want him to stand there and feel the heat. Pregnant women, with some of them with their babies at their back, are going through there. And he thought I was joking. I delayed him for about 10 minutes. And when I allow him to go, he was shouting, I'll come and meet him in the office. And truly, when I went, it was the same guy that I was asked to go and sign. And this guy wanted to talk. I slammed his tables in the office, and his boss came and asked him what is going on. I said, it is your guy who is acting unprofessionally. You people have asked us to queue here in this small space. If it was today that we have coronavirus, that day, the number of people who will be infected, you have no idea. So his boss had to call me to his office so that I'll go and sign and leave. All that I'm saying by giving you this history and story is that majority of the Ghanaian youth today are timid and conformist. So even when there's issue that we need to talk about, we don't. That does not prevent me, who have been standing up for my rights and the right of other people, to stand up in Ghana for people who have been murdered because of their skin color, who is just like me, my skin color. So please, I don't want to hear and see that post. You are in Ghana, you are in Africa, and you are fighting about racism. What should I fight against? If you haven't done it in your country before, then keep your mouth shut. Talk to yourself. Cry your own cry. Don't come and cry for me. Because for me, I'm a born fighter. I'm a born activist. In 2015, I stood up with few colleagues of mine to make sure no Ebola vaccine is tried in Ghana, and it happened. So I'm proud when I say Black Lives Matter in Ghana. I know what the F I'm talking about. If you haven't done anything against injustice, against tribalism in this country, keep your mouth shut. This is just an introduction. I'll be live on Facebook and YouTube this evening.